Welcome to News Video Clip. As we all know, Donald Trump has run the U.S. economy into the ground. Gas prices are higher, grocery prices are higher, inflation keeps going up. But if you don't believe me, let's go listen to a Trump voter who was interviewed by MS Now. This is a single mom in Ohio with 2 kids. Let's listen.
Is this how you expected the second Trump term to go?
No, not at all. I hoped it was going to be so much better. You know, you can't do anything with gas prices and you just can't afford to breathe at this point. I'm very hurt. I try to do, sorry, I cried. I try to do a lot for my kids and I can't do much.
Okay, very sad. I mean, I do feel very badly for her. Single mom with 2 kids, and she's obviously struggling. She's about to cry there. Very, very sad. But at the same time, it's like, what did you expect? Trump was already president in his first term. He ran a second time, and now this is his second term. And he's been lying since his first term. He's always screwed over working people. And it's so sad that people have to keep learning the same lesson over and over and over, and they have to keep suffering. It really is sad. And I certainly hope she gets help. I really do. All righty. Let's see what Donald Trump is saying about the economy, because his take is far different. He says this is the greatest economy ever.
Thank you. You don't hear that. I saw polls today on television that say, Donald Trump polls on the economy aren't good. The economy is the greatest economy we've ever had by far. The economy aren't good. They're fake polls, just like fake writers. But
okay. Yeah, this is a great economy for Donald Trump because he's made a couple of $1 billion since he's been in office. So it's a great economy for him, but he doesn't care about his own voters. He doesn't give a damn about those people. He doesn't care about that single mom, not at all. In fact, the cruelty is the point. Donald Trump is a cruel individual. In fact, he has tried once again to take away American birthright citizenship. Now, the U.S. Supreme Court already ruled against him in June. So he's trying 2 more executive orders to take American birthright citizenship away from Americans. Here is Eli Nanig at CNN explaining how this is happening.
So let's start with the basics, Casey. The 14th Amendment, which was ratified back in 1868, tells us that all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens. Now, for 150 plus years, that was understood to mean that if you're born here, you are a citizen here with only the narrowest of exceptions. And I'll get back to that in a second. Now, Donald Trump tried to change that. On his first day in office in January of 2025, he issued an executive order that says that does not apply if the parents are here illegally or temporarily, which would essentially gut birthright citizenship. The U.S. Supreme Court rejected Donald Trump's interpretation back in June a couple months ago. Now it seems like what Donald Trump is trying to do is sort of use an end run and to say, okay, well, let's look at the recognized exceptions and let's try to broaden them as much as possible. There have been 2 long recognized exceptions. First of all, the children of foreign diplomats. And you just heard Stephen Miller say that they're going to try to expand the definition of who counts as a foreign diplomat. And the second long recognized exception has been for the children of invading armies. Now, fortunately, we've never actually had to deal with that, but I think that's really where the rubber is going to hit the road. It sounds like what the president is going to do is expand that definition of what constitutes an invading army. We've seen him do this in the immigration context and try to say that the presence of certain populations here, they're actually invading armies. And so one thing we know for sure, this will be challenged in the courts, and Trump's first attempt to redefine birthright citizenship failed. This is a narrower attempt, but still fairly aggressive, and wouldn't surprise me at all if it ends up in the Supreme Court again.
So there you go. And I absolutely agree. It will end up in the Supreme Court. I think Trump is going to lose. But like he said, Trump wants to expand that definition of invading armies. And he's called immigrants invaders for years and years and years. So he's going to claim that they're actually invading armies and their children should not have citizenship. But again, I think that will fail in the Supreme Court. However, it's going to be your tax dollars and my tax dollars defending Trump in the U.S. Supreme Court. Also, that mom from Ohio, that single mom, her tax dollars are going to go pay for Trump's failed effort to take away American citizenship. That's how this is going to work. But I think he's going to fail. All right, we're going to go to Michigan now, where a Democratic candidate for Senate, Dr. Abdul El Sayed, absolutely roasted Vice President J.D. Vance and his opponent, Republican Mike Rogers. Now, Jennifer Welch over at I've Had It, she has the video and the story.
And Abdul El Sayed, here he is on TV, absolutely annihilating the prostitute of the United States of America. And no, I'm not talking about Melania. I'm talking about J.D. Vance. Play the clip.
In case you missed any of that, he said that the Democratic Party wants people who hate the idea of even private property ownership. It's very popular in places you wouldn't expect. Speaking of Michigan, he said you hold yourself out as a working class hero who's going to fight for the working class by flooding your state with low-wage immigrants. What's your response?
Is that Peter Thiel's boy with that Ohio charisma he's got? That guy. I think we've had enough of him. The last thing that he said that made any sense was hillbilly elegy. After he said that Donald Trump had no business being president of anything, that was the last time he made sense, and then he decided to suck up to power. But that's exactly what this is about. You've got Republicans who'll do anything for power and money, including corrupt their office, just like Mike Rogers has. For the 14 years he was serving in Congress, he took over $1 million from the pharmaceutical industry. He voted 19 times to raise prescription drug prices. And then he helped to architect the legislation that kicked off the opioid epidemic, killing nearly 600,000 people. Why? For money and power. But that's what that party's about. We're trying to get money out of politics to put money in your pocket, pass Medicare for all, which of course are things that people like Ohio J.D. Vance and Mike Rogers have no clue about, because they've always been in it for themselves rather than for the public.
Oh, this is so spot on. And he's absolutely right. Mike Rogers has voted with the pharmaceutical industry 19 times to raise prices. And J.D. Vance is bought and owned by Peter Thiel, who's a billionaire who financed J.D. Vance and also helped him politically get to be Trump's vice president. So Dr. Abdul El Sayed is spot on. And this guy's very intelligent. He's an infectious disease expert. He would make an excellent senator. Let's hope that Michigan does elect him and not Mike Rogers. All right, those are all the stories we have for today. All the links to all of our stories are right below this video. We back up every single story with evidence on this podcast. Unlike the right-wing podcasters, the paid influencers, the Joe Rogan, Tim Pool, Benny Johnson, Jimmy Dore, Riley Gaines, Kristen Hawkins, Lila Grace Rose, they are all on the take. They are right-wing paid influencers, and they never back up what they say. They just lie like hell. All right, I want to thank everybody who has subscribed to this channel. If this is your first time watching, please like and subscribe, or you can hate it and subscribe, or if you hate it, or if you hate me, you can subscribe, because I think over time, you'll grow to love me. All righty, we'll have more stories for you guys later on. Thanks.